Hello, welcome back to Wildhaven Pastures. Today we are going to be planting a couple items in the garden. We had our beans um, come out. We had a bunch of stuff in here that is no longer producing. Our lettuce is done for the season, so we cleared it out, and spinach. It's just too hot out here. It makes it really bitter when I try to grow lettuce in the middle of summer. So we're going to be adding in some herbs today and adding in some more beans. We did have the climbing beans up here, which is really why we built the trellis, but we just don't like those as much as the bush beans. So we're going to be planting some bush beans. I have some sage that we're going to do, thyme, and cilantro. Okay, so yesterday I came out here to do this, and there were some ants, an ant bed in here. Got a couple bites on my leg. So I threw down some diatomaceous earth yesterday to try to clear that up. Let's make sure there's no ants here. Okay, I'm not really seeing. Okay, we got some over here. All right, so we are going to need to add some more diatomaceous earth over here. It looks like they're really just in the corner. Okay. So to treat pests, we use diatomaceous earth to get rid of the ants. It does kill all the animals around the area, so we do use this sparingly, but we typically try not to put like pesticides or anything near the food that we eat. Another option that's worked is the boiling water. That will get rid of the pests as well. So let me go ahead and go get some diatomaceous earth on this and get these guys gone. Oh yeah, they've just gone down. Okay, so this is the diatomaceous earth that we use. It's food grade. We buy these big bags at a time. You want to make sure that you are careful when you're applying this, not to get it in your nose and your eyes. So I just sprinkle a lot around here and let it do what it needs to do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and plant now, because if we wait any longer, it's going to be really hot. All right, so we're going to start with some seeds. I like this area because it's covered. We have the sunshade over it, so it won't be too hot for basil. Basil burns pretty easily here. So we're just going to make sure that we read the packet, and it says February to October to sow 6 inches apart, 1/4 inch of fine soil. So let's take a look. Oh, these are some very tiny seeds. All right, so I will just get a row here. I'll do a row here, a row here, and a row here. And kind of avoid this area. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle, and then I will pull them as needed. So quick cover of that. Basil's done. We'll do sage next. These are a little bit bigger seeds. Okay. Kind of do the same thing. Throw in a couple. And we'll separate them out as we need to. Okay, and then cilantro. I haven't really had a lot of luck with cilantro, but I keep trying. I just fertilized or added some fertilizer to the soil since we did pull up all the plants, the lettuce and everything. So hopefully it is good to go. Okay. Cilantro here. And then we're going to kind of cover that up. That's it. Now I'm going to just get my little sign so I remember what I planted where. So I just wrote what it is and I put when I planted it. So I have sage. I'm going to put that right here. I have cilantro right here. And I actually wrote thyme on here. I actually have thyme right across the garden. So this is going to be basil, sweet basil. Okay, so I got what it is, and I have the date that I planted it. And I kind of use the seed packets to just kind of lay down where it starts so I remember where to put the sign. I also face the direction that I'm growing it. It kind of makes it easy. So we'll water this in, and we'll get some of these beans planted as well. So I'm going to try to plant one bean bush here, and then we'll move over to the next bed and do a bean bush there. And then I have some area that's in full sun that I will do as well. All right, so here is my seed collection. Just kind of keep it in an old box. And I'm using these Burpee stringless green pods. So these are the bush snap beans, stringless. And again, these are March through September, so lots of time. Plant an inch deep and thin to 6 inches. So I'll plant a couple here and see what comes up. I think these will be fine once these ants are all gone. But we'll just kind of plant a couple and space them out as needed. So I'm planting 2 in each hole, and we'll see what comes up. So I usually stick to the Burpee brand. It's fine. I get a pretty good amount that come up. I've tried some other brands. I've tried the fancy, the ones you have to order online, and I don't get the same amount that come up. Okay, bean, bush, 6, 3, 25. All right. So I've got my label there, and then we are good to move on to the next one. So here is the second bed. We have our bell peppers. We've got some cherry tomatoes. All of these are bell peppers. And then we had another tomato that just kind of popped up, I guess was a seed from last year. And that's really all we have in this one right now. So I'm going to put some beans right here in this front area. And this will be a nice covered spot for those. Let's go ahead and get that going. All right, so I, again, fertilized this ground yesterday since we've pulled up the lettuce and everything here. So I'm just going to kind of flatten it out. No ants in this bed, so that's good. Okay, so we're going about 1 inch. I'm just going to plant them in a row and space out. It says 6 inches away, so I will do that, and then we'll space them out as we need to. So two beans. These are pretty big beans. 2 beans per hole. And we're going to just cover them up with dirt. And that is pretty much it. That's pretty easy. All right, on to the next bed. Okay, so we had peas here earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and just take out these trellises because we won't need those for the beans. These will go into the greenhouse. Okay, so Where were we? So we used to have peas in here. Just going to clean it up a little bit. And then we will go ahead and plant our bush beans here. It has full sun, which could be good or could be bad. We'll see how it goes. We've got some in the shade and some in the full sun. We'll see which one grows better in June. So typically we water every other day early in the season, but as the season gets hotter, we water every day. We try to water in the mornings. And we're at the level now that we just hand water everything. We could certainly do with some drip lines, and that could be something that we think about in the future, especially as we expand our garden. But for now, we are okay with the way things are. If anything, I would probably want to get drip lines for the trees in the orchard before I do the garden back here. The trees require a lot more water, and it's more time consuming to sit there and water every tree. There is, I saw or read about a trick where you can take a 5-gallon bucket and drill some holes in the bottom and fill up the 5-gallon bucket and let that slowly water the trees. So that is something I would be willing to try. I think maybe we'll be looking into that shortly. Anything to make the job easier, right? All right. So the grass and weeds are pulled. All right, so I'm just going to loosen the soil up real quick, and then we will get some of these beans planted, water it in, and then that is really all we're doing in the garden today. Okay, so 1 inch deep, 6 inches apart. 2, 3, 4. I think we'll probably get 12. 12 should be plenty. Oop. Well, 12 will be plenty here. All right, so we are using the same seeds, just dropping 2 in each spot. 2. It's kind of hard to do in gloves. Yeah, maybe it's time to take off the gloves while I do this. This one got 4. Let's go ahead and take those out. Put those here. 1, 2. Oh, close. All right, here we go. We've got all of these holes filled up with beans. Now we just need to cover them up, and then we are ready to water them in. So just lightly cover. I've already made the sign and put the sign down. Okay, we want loose soil on top. And then we are done. Let's get these watered, and then we are finished with the garden today. I'm going to try not to get the diatomaceous earth because then it won't work. So it doesn't really work when it gets wet. So we're going to get them nice and watered in. The ground was already watered this morning, so it should be good, but we're going to get them off to a fresh start. It's supposed to be in the 90s today. So lots of moisture will get these seeds germinating. Okay. And then the last one is way over here. Yeah, you can already tell how wet the ground is. That should soak right in. It's already disappearing as I'm saying that. Thanks for hanging out with me as I work in the garden. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.